Good morning, meteorologist Lisa Green here with a look at the extensive rain that we got last night in parts of the Southern Valley, and also taking a look at, of course, our next rounds of storms because we have first alert weather days for Thursday night and Friday as well. So a lot to go over. Let's get right to it. I'm going to take full screen view of our rain reports here because I want you to be able to see them all. We are looking at some significant rain, extreme rain that fell in parts of southern parts of the valley, especially southeastern North Dakota, but Minnesota also saw quite a bit. The first town on the list, I'm not even sure how to pronounce this, Wirch, North Dakota. That is the sensor from the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network that measured this report of 7.2 inches of rain. That was along the county line between Dickey County in our southeastern viewing area and McIntosh County. So right on the edge of our viewing area here is where that report came in from. And that's incredible. And we saw even more places get high amounts of rain. The Tower City area, 6.5 inches of rain. I got a photo from someone of a rain gauge of 5.2 inches of rain in the South Fargo area. Buffalo in Cass County, 5 inches of rain. And then into Clay County, Barnesville, 5 inches. And by the way, this is by all means not an exhaustive list, and some of these numbers might be lower than what you had as well, and you know, we're just taking these as they come in. I want to stress that. I had some people say this isn't right. Well, when I first shared this list on social media this morning, we only had certain reports coming in. But once everybody started waking up and checking their rain gauges, we've been getting more reports in. And so we're updating the list as we go along. So the numbers might have looked a little low to you earlier on, but once we get new information as we're updating it. Our list is only as good as your reports. So if you see something that maybe doesn't look as high as what you saw, let us know. We've got that post on Facebook, and this is streaming live right now on Facebook, where you can comment and let us know how much you saw where your location is. And we'll of course be updating this throughout the day. So I just want to stress that, you know, this isn't the final list. This is just some of the reports that are coming in so that you can see how you might compare or how much your area got, and focusing in on our highest reports. So if you got 2 inches of rain, you're not going to be on this list because it's just not as high as other locations. South Moorhead, we had a report of 4.8 inches of rain. Valley City, 4 inches of rain. Jamestown, close to 4 inches. And again, there may be reports that are higher than that in some spots. And then here's more places in that 2 to 3 inch plus range across North Dakota and Minnesota. So let's take a look at the precip estimate. Now this is what the radar estimates based on what we have seen detected on the radar over a course of time. And so you can see the southern end of the valley definitely over the last 24 hours has been the focal point. Northern Valley, it was a different night for you. It was a quieter night. If you're north of Highway 2, you may be wondering, where was all that rain? Well, again, Southern Valley. And two bullseyes, one southwest and then another kind of right over that I-94 corridor. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. And on those bullseyes. Now, I mentioned that top report of 7.2 inches of rain. It was right here. So this coincides with what the radar is showing too. So the radar matching up with that report. So that gives us confidence in the accuracy of it. And then same thing in Cass County back over to Valley City. This area from Castleton to Valley City is where we've seen some of our highest reports of 5 to 7 inches. That 6.5 report came in from Tower City as well. There's water on the road as of last check. Which was about an hour ago, so that might have changed a little bit here, but as of last check, there was water on the road around the Buffalo exit. So easy does it out there. There's still water standing on the road, even though conditions have improved greatly from last night. And anywhere that's in that bright green to yellow range, which is most places in the Southern Valley, is where the radar's estimating we had more than an inch of rain. I'll step over a little bit more so you can see your location in the east too. So it was heavy rain, extreme rain over a short period of time, and that just overwhelms the storm system. So that's going to lead to the flooding that we saw here in the valley. Oh, and I just had queried this. Again, the radar estimating about 7 inches of rain in that area. And again, that kind of lines up with what we've seen in our reports. So let's take a look at our latest alerts. We do have a flood advisory. It looks like it was extended for Lemoore and Dickey County. There is a flood warning that is, let me see here. I'm going to clear those queries because I want to see if we have an update to these. So we're going to look at the Lemoore-Dickey County area. Yes, it was extended until 6 o'clock this evening. So that's good to know that we're still having some issues in that area, that the National Weather Service felt the need to extend that advisory. Now these warnings here, those are warnings south of Sisseton, and we'll check out the one south of Sisseton as well. This is for, again, Roberts County and parts of Grant County rather, until 11:15 this morning. So a little bit of time left on that one. But here's the good thing: no flash flood warnings in effect this morning. That's great after what we dealt with last night. This has been interesting too. We've been seeing some of our rivers respond, and they responded dramatically in some instances. You can see almost a vertical leap in the river gauge at the Red River in Fargo. We were at 16 feet last night, and looking at, or yesterday afternoon, and then last night it surged up to over 17 feet. Currently at 17.24 at action stage, and there is now a forecast for the Red River and Fargo to reach 18.8 feet. So it's looking like it has the potential to go into flood stage. Right now it's been kind of flatlining a little bit, but as the other tributaries are full of water right now, as they start to dump into the red, there is the potential to send the river gauge up again at the Red River and Fargo. So we might be seeing flood stage in the next day or so. So we'll be watching those river levels closely. You can actually access those right on the VNL weather app. You can do so at valleynewslive.com on the weather page. It's one of the options at the top of the weather page to check out, including cameras, road conditions, all of those things that you can access for weather information from around the valley. So again, rivers have risen and roads turned into rivers as well. I'm going to take a look at one of our photos that came in from last night. This was from the 25th Street area in Fargo, South Fargo. This was sent to us from Shelley. She said that this was just south of 13th Avenue South. Sorry, I'm kind of managing a few things here, so just trying to get the latest information. But you can see all of the vehicles attempting to drive through the water there on 25th Street. One thing she mentioned was that a lot of cars stalled out, and at times after they stalled out, some of them floated a little bit. And we've talked about this, that all it takes is a little bit of fast-moving water to raise your car, especially if you have a low clearance vehicle. So again, this is the very reason we stress the importance of turn around, don't drown. That's the phrase. You do not want to attempt to drive in waters that are over the roadway. You don't know how deep the water is, especially out in rural areas where, you know, we could see washouts. And then in addition to that, even if you're fine, you're still running the risk of stalling out your car, and that is a headache. And I know a lot of people waking up to that headache this morning after stallouts that happened last night. So again, this is just one example of the rain and the flooding that happened. It was on my neighborhood street as well, and we do not flood like that. So it was pretty dramatic, I think, for a lot of places in the metro and around the valley that saw this kind of rain. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is that there was some wind damage too. We got a couple of pictures in of some trees down, a gazebo that was blown over, and this is a photo from the Castleton area. This was sent to us by Jackie of wind damage to her vehicle there. That branch came down and part of it went through the door window and caved it in, and when it fell. So that is going to be a fix-up that's going to have to happen there. And some of the wind was from storms, but also in the wake of this low, we had 50-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts in some areas in the wake of the rain. And that was notable in Fargo, Moorhead too, those strong winds. Once the heavier rain fell down or moved on and departed, we had the strong wind behind it. So might be waking up to some wind damage in some places too. Okay, let's take a look now, and there'll be more coming in as we get more photos and pictures. And just a reminder, you can upload your pictures and photos to valleynewslive.com. Just go to the pull-down menu, the drop-down menu in the upper left, and then scroll down and you'll see a submit section for photos and videos. And you can also do it right on your phone too on the VNL Weather app. That's a nice easy way. The submit button's right at the bottom right of your screen. Okay, so this is what's going on right now. There's still a little bit of rain out there. Here's Fargo, here's Grand Forks. It's off to the east. It's moving through places like Clearbrook and Bagley, moving into the Red Lake area. Bemidji, you might see a little rain shower pass by the Lake Itasca area. Again, so this is weak but nuisance kind of rain when we don't want to see any more right now. So that's the last round, and as that clears off to the east, you can see we've got some nice clearing going on, some sunshine on the way, some drying opportunities here before the next round moves in, heading into the end of the week. So I love to see that. Love to see this view on our sky cam as we're looking northward. We've got downtown Fargo there, nice view as we're moving into the later morning and into the afternoon. We've got temperatures that are comfortable, some low 70s in Fargo. And looking at our planner for this afternoon, you could see getting into some mid 80s by 5 o'clock. So warming things up, feeling like a nice summer day, and more partly cloudy to even, I think, mostly sunny in some areas. It's also a really big day today for We Festers. Today's the first day. We had early bird camping starting yesterday, but campers can all come in now today and get set up, and want to make sure that you are making plans for rain with your camp setup because we've got more chances coming our way. Want to make sure you have rain boots. I know everybody wants to wear their cowboy boots, but bring your rain boots too. And maybe don't bring your nicest cowboy boots because we've got reports that it's a little bit muddy out there this morning after that first round moved through last night. And we've got more chances for rain again coming up in the forecast. So be ready with your gear for rainy conditions and be ready for severe weather too. And we'll be talking about that coming up. But for today in Detroit Lakes at Sioux Pass Ranch, we're looking at temperatures getting into the upper 70s with the gradual clearing continuing. And so for the kickoff party, I know we've got some live music there tonight. Temperatures will be mainly in the 70s, even into the late night hours. It's going to be a warm night. And one of 2 nights, we'll have, let's see here, camping starts tonight, goes through Saturday night, so that's 4 nights of camping. 2 nights look quieter, and then we're looking at 2 nights that are going to be pretty tough, potentially, for the festival here. So again, this is for today. Let's take a look at the rest of the valley. We've got highs in the upper 70s to some low 80s. This is a 5 p.m. snapshot. So warmer out to the west. So let's talk about this. We've got our first alert weather days coming up for Thursday and Friday. Thursday night specifically, because most of the day tomorrow will be dry. It's going to be dry, hot, and humid. But once we get into Thursday night, we're going to need to watch out for storms. And it may start as early as the evening hours in our western viewing area. That's round 1. The second round is Friday, and this round looks significant. This is one everybody needs to be watching with that potential for severe storms. So we're going to break down what we know right now with this. So here's a look at our hour-by-hour planner. We're going to start with today just to show you again that we've got these departing showers. We've got some clearing conditions as we head into the afternoon and evening, and just really looking pleasant into tonight for most areas here. By tomorrow morning, you can see we're nice and clear on Thursday morning. Once we get into the afternoon, there's the potential we could see some early development for storms. This is 1 p.m. Most of the activity going on western parts of North Dakota, central and western parts of North Dakota. But this particular model has consistently been trying to bring in at least a little bit of precipitation early on with this round moving through. You can see it kind of lifting northeast. Not a lot of impressive action with that one. But look what happens around 7 p.m. We're looking out to the west. We're watching some pretty strong cells. You start getting into those pink colors there on the radar, future radar. We know we've got some intensity, some hail, some wind gusts as this structure bows out. So let's move ahead. This is 7 p.m. Watch what happens between 7 and the 10 o'clock hour. It moves well into eastern North Dakota, and this line continues to push eastward. Let's move into the midnight hour. Between that time and midnight, this line, at least with this particular model scenario, this solution shows it moving pretty speedily. It crosses from eastern North Dakota all the way toward, by midnight, the Sioux Pass Ranch area. So concerts may be getting done or maybe still going on when we may see this push of moisture. Now, I want to stress again that the timing has been tough to nail down. The model's still not in full agreement on that. So it could come in a little bit later. At times they've shown a slower arrival. So that would mean the concert would be able to happen, or concerts would be able to happen without being impacted, but campers would still be impacted, the overnight folks. But there is the potential can come a little sooner. So This is not a guarantee. We just want to give you that heads up so you're prepared for it. And fingers crossed, I'm hoping we don't see that type of weather, but it is a possibility. So again, multiple ways to be alerted is what you want. You want your wireless emergency alerts on your phone set up. You want to have the VNL weather app set to alert you where you are. So if you don't live in Detroit Lakes normally, make sure you change that setting in the app to alert you at your location and have your location services turned on. Or you could just select Detroit Lakes for warnings too, either way. But if you're in this area, or if you're camping anywhere, you don't want to be caught out in the storm outside of a storm shelter. So again, stressing that we want to make sure we're weather aware in the next couple of days. So this is Thursday night and into early Friday morning. That model runs out. That's a short range model. So we're moving into a more lower resolution model. We've been talking about this the last couple of days as we've been looking out pretty far. But by Friday morning, we're quieting things down. We're getting a little bit of a break, still humid, still got the heat out there, and then we're watching for storm development. And we're looking at, this is mid-afternoon, heading into Friday afternoon, central North Dakota, the potential for storm development at that point. Into the 7 o'clock hour for Friday night, we've got those storms moving right through the valley. There's going to be a lot of instability with this system, it's looking like right now. Along with the cold front moving through, that combination can lead to some significant severe. So as this front continues to press eastward, this is 7 o'clock. Again, Sioux Pass Ranch folks, We Fest folks, watch what happens. We're going to go from 7, and then watch what happens between 7 and 10. This blasts through, and that's right around concert time. So if, again, this particular scenario happens, then we're looking at the potential for it to impact Friday night's concerts. I'm hoping if it does, it moves through fast, doesn't do any damage, and you can resume, but it is a possibility. And so always make sure you know where the nearest storm shelter is for you. And then moving on into the late night hours for Friday night, that continues to clear off to the east, and we're looking quieter heading into Saturday morning. So let's talk about the impacts and the risks for the next couple of rounds. Again, we get to enjoy a break pretty much for the rest of today and for most of Thursday until we get into the second half of the day, especially Thursday night. We're looking at this first round, Thursday night and into Friday morning. The risk is greatest out west. It may weaken as it moves eastward, so that would be something that would be a good thing for We Festers and for everybody. We don't want severe weather. But over by Devil's Lake, the James River Valley area, especially Jamestown, up into that just extreme northwest corner of Minnesota, that's where we have that greatest risk, that level 2 out of 5, and then a marginal risk for just about everybody else here, including Grand Forks and including Fargo and Detroit Lakes. And impacts, well, we're looking out for the potential for, I can't rule out, there's a low risk for a tornado out west where the risk is greater in general, but more likely for a lot of places the risk is there for more hail, ping pong ball size hail possibly, wind gusts that could get up to 75 miles per hour. I think the high winds is going to be more of a factor with this one. And then moving on into, that's again for Thursday night and into Friday. And now let's talk about Friday afternoon and into Friday night. You can see a much more colorful map. We've got a level 3 enhanced risk, so a more elevated risk. And it covers a good portion of the valley, including Grand Forks and Fargo. It includes the Detroit Lakes area in that range. And then surrounding areas, for the most part, we're in a level 2 risk. So everybody is under that risk on another first alert weather day on Friday. And this one has the potential, again, for more significant severe impacts. Here's a look. We've got a tornado risk possible here with these storms. And then in addition to that, we have the potential for large hail, over 2 inches in diameter. That's some significant hail. And the potential for high winds up to 80 miles per hour. And one other thing to note is we are waterlogged, so in a lot of places in the south, so we'll have a chance for some of that to drain, but if we get another round of 1 inch of rain, that could cause more problems with flash flooding and those low spots having some trouble, both Friday or Thursday night again, and then into the second round on Friday. So that's one other thing we want to watch out for too. Again, so the risk is greater for significant severe on Friday. Let's take a look at our rainfall potential. This is in addition to what we've just seen. So we have lots of places with the potential for at least a ½ inch of rain in green. And then some places with more than 1 inch, 1 inch to 2, maybe even an isolated pocket of 3 inches of rain. And that would be especially likely in places that get hit twice, with the first round overnight Thursday night and into early Friday, and then again again on Friday. That's where we're going to see some of those heavier amounts because this is cumulative through Saturday night. So I'll take this full screen so you can get a better look at it. As it's kind of hard to see that legend that's up at the top there. Again, a lot of places are going to get another ½ inch of rain, it looks like at this point with the storms that move through. So there's that. Let's take a look at the planner here for WeFest. So I'm going to, once again, pull this up full screen. Here we go, or I guess on the monitor behind me. And just take a look at each day. So again, Thursday, stressing that it's going to be a hot, dry day. It's going to feel muggy out there, but we won't be really seeing much in the form of rain and thunderstorms until we get into the late night. And that's especially the case for places like Detroit Lakes, because those storms are going to start earlier in the evening well out to the west. So it may not be until around midnight that we see the storms. They could come a little sooner, but they may not come in until, we get into the early morning hours on Friday. So something to keep in mind, it might be happening while you're camping, while you're sleeping after the concerts are over. With a high of 89, going to be toasty. So hydration, really, really important out at the concerts. Now, heading into Friday, again, strong to severe storms. This is the day that looks the most significant threat for severe weather. Still hot and humid on Friday as well. And then Saturday, there could be some lingering rain into the morning hours. That'll be decreasing. Definitely not as hot. It's going to be a more comfortable day. And the best day for getting those concerts in without weather interruption here between the three that we've got on the list. And Saturday night's camping will be a lot quieter. So tonight and Saturday night are our best camping nights. Thursday night and Friday night, of course, with the risk for storms, are going to be the toughest ones. So again, first alert weather day for Thursday night and again for Friday. And here's a look at our extended planner. Once this clears out, you can see our temperatures take a step back. We're looking at some low 80s as we head into next week. Something I'll be watching for, we've got to watch it this summer, and it seems like lately a lot of summers, is the potential for wildfire smoke to spill in behind that low as we get that northwesterly flow. I'm hoping we can avoid it, but it is a possibility that we'll be keeping an eye out for here. So again, going to continue to watch for severe storms as we are looking ahead into the forecast for this week. And just a reminder that we have this first alert weather day for Thursday and again into Friday. So I'm going to take a quick look and see if there are any questions about the severe weather risk, about the possibility for thunderstorms Thursday versus Friday, and any other questions that might have come up during the course of this update. I'm not seeing anything yet. We'll pull up, we'll refresh our view. It's being slow. But you can see that again, we're looking at strong to severe storms Thursday night and again into Friday. I'm not seeing any questions. Okay. So we'll of course be keeping you updated. If we have anything new to update you on, we'll of course be right here to keep you alerted to it. We are, of course, also getting more information on last night's storms that we'll be passing along throughout the day. Chief Meteorologist Russ Thomas will be back later on this afternoon to review the threat again for the end of the week. And just in the meantime, if you're leaving now to head out to WeFest, and you're not going to be watching as closely, just keep in mind that you want ways to be alerted, and please check the radar, whatever weather apps you tend to use. We of course want you to use ours. We think ours is the best. You've got a person here who is working on that every day, updating the forecast, putting out videos, and making sure everything is correct, whereas other apps are completely automated. So we'd want you to use ours, but most importantly is that you just have multiple ways to get those alerts when you're out, especially when you're camping, because we know tents, RVs, those are not safe places to be during tornadoes, but even during severe thunderstorms. And so make sure you have time to get to your shelter before the storm hits. So you can do that by getting those earlier alerts. So I want you all to be safe and have a great time. And again, just keep in mind Thursday night and again on Friday, we have those risks for severe weather. And of course, again, we'll be back keeping you up to date as we work our way through the rest of the week. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll be back here tomorrow morning.